So the Criminal Enterprises DLC brought a lot of changes to GTA Online, but one of the additions I feel is getting a bit slept on is the Source Special Cargo feature that's offered by the new warehouse staff manager Lupe. Before the new update, the only way of sourcing cargo crates was by doing it the old-fashioned way of paying for the order and then having to go and do all of the grunt work yourself by going and picking up each crate individually before returning it to your warehouse. Back in the day, this was one of the main moneymakers in GTA Online, and honestly, in terms of bang for your buck, it really wasn't too bad considering the other options available at the time. However, while it earned good money, crate grinding quickly became known as one of the most boring and tedious tasks in the game, after players had little choice but to repeat the same missions over and over again. Fortunately, there's now a new way to do it, and you can finally send out workers on your behalf to collect the crates for you. Although unlike other passive money methods that you can usually collect once every in-game day or so, this is going to be a slow burn, but one that pays off with minimum effort and maximum profit. First thing you're going to need, if you don't have one already, is a crate warehouse. You can purchase one on the computer in your CEO office, and all you have to do is log in, come over to Special Cargo, and then you'll be presented with this map. As you can see, there are locations scattered all over the city of Los Santos. The warehouses are available in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large, all with varying prices based on size and location. All that really matters here is size. If you've got the money to spend, I highly advise that you go with a large warehouse, so that you can make full use of the method that I'll be showing in this video. But if you don't have the money to spend, just go with whatever you can afford and you can still use this to an extent. As you can see here, crate value is based upon how many crates you've got available to sell. The bigger the shipment, the more interest there is in the product, the more each individual crate is worth. If you sell a full small warehouse with 16 crates, they're worth 15k per crate, then 17.5k for medium, and 20k per crate for a large warehouse. Now that might not sound like a massive gap, but when we're talking about selling over 100 crates at once, the difference of 5k each can make a pretty big impact at the end. Once that's purchased, or if you already have one, make your way over to whichever warehouse you own and head inside. From there, just go and speak to Lupe, who can be found in any number of positions, but will be highlighted by the little person icon on your minimap. And then it's just a simple matter of selecting Source Special Cargo for $7,500, and that will get the process kicked off. From the moment you pay Lupe the money, it will take her 48 minutes or 1 in-game day for her to source the cargo, and until then you can't get her to order anymore. After that 48 minutes has passed, you'll get a phone call from Lupe informing you that it's been delivered and also how much product was collected. In this case it wasn't great, she only got 1 crate of cargo, but she has got a chance of delivering upwards of 3 crates depending on how lucky you are with each order. So essentially 1 crate is a worst case scenario, and I think a lot of people have used that as a reason for why this new service isn't really worth it. But if we check out these quick figures I've put together, you can see that even if you were the most unlucky person in the world, and every single time you only got 1 crate from Lupe, you'd still be making bank when it comes to sale time. Obviously this scenario is unlikely, as you're pretty much guaranteed to get double or even triple crate deliveries with many of these orders. But even in that worst case scenario where the outlay for sourcing crates would total 832k, you would still be selling it for $2.2 million, which is going to give you almost $1.4 million in pure profit. And literally all you have to do is stop back in here and talk to either Lupe or one of her employees once every 48 minutes, or just whenever you remember really. Over time that sourced cargo is going to amount to some serious money, and considering there's next to no effort involved, even if you get the bare minimum, it's still going to be one of the easiest forms of passive income in the game. The only downside is you can't actually call Lupe to order more crates. When you do, it just goes to a busy tone, and that means that if you're planning on doing this with multiple warehouses, you'll have to visit them all individually. Considering this is a passive money guide, I figured having to visit upwards of 5 warehouses a day isn't really that passive and involves a decent amount of effort. However, that option's certainly available to you and would earn some serious cash over time if you were willing to put in the extra effort. 555 crates sells for somewhere in the neighbourhood of $12 million if I remember correctly. While I will admit this is a really slow burn when it comes to passive income, that's kind of what I like about it. I'm going to treat it a little bit like a savings account. Now that we can sell in private lobbies, product in businesses is basically as good as money in the bank. And I figure just slowly build it up over time, and then when it maxes out, I've got an extra $2 million ready to go and drop on a new DLC, or maybe a new expensive car I want to buy, or something like that. Then once that time comes around and your warehouse is full and ready to go, All you have to do is come over to the computer and kick off the sale mission. There's a variety of different missions available that I'm sure most of you are already aware of. Some involve trucks like this, others involve boats, and some even involve planes. But whichever one you get, if you've been patient and waited for a full warehouse to get that max money like I've suggested in this guide, you will receive a whopping $2.2 million upon delivery. Absolutely insane money, by any standards honestly. And while it will definitely take a long time to build up the supply of crates, the figures are in, and it's now up there with some of the best passive incomes in the game, especially when you take into account just how little effort is involved. And look, don't feel like you've got to obsess over it and set a timer for every 48 minutes or anything like that. Just make it a part of your daily grind and stop by your warehouse whenever you get a spare moment. Then before you know it, you'll be rolling in cash and looking for something to spend it on. But knowing this game, that probably won't take you too long. But yeah, that pretty much brings us to a close on this one. If you did find the video useful, please help it to be seen by more people by tapping the thumbs up button down below. And if you are new around here, do think about subscribing as well. I'm a Rockstar Games exclusive channel, and I've got all sorts of awesome DLC content on the way. Until we meet again, you bunch of legends, I'm Red Nitrate, and I'll catch you on the next one.